Israel's new home to be primarily to the northwest. Canaan was never the permanent home for Israel. How could it be when Yahweh promised that the children of Israel would become a vast multitude that would spread all over the earth? In addition, sharing Canaan with the wicked Canaanites proved disastrous to the spiritual health of Yahweh's people time and time again. So Yahweh promised his children a new home far away from the accursed Canaanites. As we read in Samuel, "Moreover I will appoint a place for my people Israel, and will plant them that they may dwell in a place of their own, and move no more, neither shall the children of wickedness afflict them any more as before time." It's important to note that Yahweh divided the land amongst the Adamic people from Noah, as we read in Deuteronomy, when the Most High divided to the nations their inheritance. When he separated the sons of Adam, he set the bounds of the people according to the number of the children of Israel. This means, looking at the nations that formed from Noah, Europe was left undesignated, and that would eventually be the new home for the children of Israel. So now we'll move on to Isaiah, and he was a prophet during the Assyrian deportations around 722 BC. In Isaiah 11 he states that some of the Israelites escaped, that they fled on the ships of the Philistines, or in some translations other tribes, towards the west, so Europe, and then they would later spoil the east together. The Israelites did indeed spread to Europe, but centuries later, once they'd become more powerful under Alexander the Great and later the Romans, they did reconquer the east. So this prophecy took many centuries to be fulfilled. Now later Isaiah makes another prophecy in Isaiah 41, this time directly to the Europeans. He states, "To the islands or coastlands to renew their strength." The settlements in Europe did indeed begin to become powerful from the Assyrian deportations onwards, and in the next verse he states that a righteous man from the east would be king over all nations. This righteous man can only be Christ, who comes from the east, but that geographical direction is from the perspective of the dispersed Israelites. Thus it confirms that the Israelites were indeed already living in the west, in their new home in Europe by the time of Christ. Next, Jeremiah, who was a prophet during the Babylonian deportations. In Jeremiah 3 he pleads with the deported Israelites who are in the north, and he refers to them as backsliding Israel. So Jeremiah was 100 years after Isaiah, and we see the Israelites haven't just disappeared. They're still in the north at that time. Some had already begun to migrate even further north into Europe, and a few verses later Jeremiah declares that the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and will be joined together out of the land of the north to the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your father. This new land of inheritance can only be within Europe. On to the next prophet, this time Hosea. Hosea makes another messianic prophecy in Hosea 11, where he declares that they, the Israelites, will walk after the Lord, after Yahweh, and he, Yahweh as Christ, will roar like a lion, and when he will roar, then the children, the Israelites, will tremble in the west. So the Israelites